It's your boy Rez here, and today we're gonna break down Yuki's kit and cards and Epiphany and more. So if you're new around here, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. So at first, we have the 100% damage, 220 damage, and 100% shield on the starting card with the final skill, Prepare to Subdue, which is draw one attack cards of this unit, increase damage amount of those cards by 20% for one turn, which is really good for drawing any of these inspiration card. And at the same time, the card that you're able to draw are Longsword Slash, Rapid Slash, Flash Slash, Trickery Strike, or Iceberg Cleave, and any of them will be increased by 20% for one turn. Next is the Epiphany card, right? And then we have the 2-cost Flash Slash, which is a attack card with 180% damage to all enemies, and if there's an inspiration, it decreases cost by 1. And what the inspiration mean is that when this card is moved to hand by ability, so combatant like Cassius or Nia. Next is the Trickery Strike, which is a retain card. That means it will never discard at the end of turn if you never use it. You have 150% damage, activate inspiration for one random card of this unit in hand. So right, and then next one is the Freezing Blade, which is an upgrade card. When using a card of this unit with an activated inspiration, 60% damage to all enemies. So it's like a additional buff. And then the final one, we have the 1-cost Iceberg Cleave, which is an attack card with 180% damage to all enemies, inspiration at 1 hit, decrease damage amount by 20%. So we're going to dive deeper look into the Epiphany. There's 4 cards that can be Epiphany, but before that, let's have a look at the Eagle skills. Crazy Art, Skyscraper Cleave, which is an Eagle skill with 300% damage to all enemies, move all attack cards of this unit in hand to top of the draw pile, and then every time an attack card has been moved, it plus 50% for each card. So it's a very good combo if you have a lot of attack card on your hand and then just pop the Eagle skills and you can get like a huge amount of damage on top of it. So we're going to look into the Epiphany now. The first one is Prepare to Subdue. Now, in my opinion, I'm going to read them all and then give my opinions to which card you should pick. Right, Prepare to Subdue, first one is Retain card, which the original one doesn't have a retain card. Simply by increasing the damage for 40% in one turn, right? These two are the upgrade that you'll be getting for the first one. The second one is that only increase damage amount of attack cards of this unit. So which means is that every attack card that this unit have that certain turn will be increased by 20%. So let's say you have Longsword Slash, Rapid Slash, they all will be buffed from this skill card, right? And then for the third one is that you can draw 2 attack cards of this unit. It will decrease the damage amount of those cards by 20% for one turn. And the fourth one is draw 1 attack cards of this unit, increase damage amount of those cards by 20% for one turn. And then if you got an inspiration on top of it, it will draw 1 additional card of this unit. And then the final one is that at the start of the next turn, draw 1 attack card of this unit. So they are all 0 cost, but in my opinion, right, the fourth one looks the best because I would like to play more on inspiration, doing a bit of combo, and then guarantee myself to pretty much draw another attack card of this unit. So there's more card dishing out. Now, the second one I would say, which could be good, is either the 5th one or the first one, right? So that you can keep pumping out damage, and pretty much I will have to test it out in the chaos to see which one actually fits the best. Moving on to the next one is the Flash Slash, which has 180% on default and then decrease the cost by 1. But let's have a look at the Epiphany. From 180% all the way up to 270%, right? With the same stats, it just adds more damage. The second card has decreased cost by 2 if there's an inspiration tags in it. That means it's a 0 cost if you manage to get this card through ability. The third one is inspiration, which is plus 1 hit, right? And plus 1 hit, that means additional 180% damage to all enemies. Now, onto the fourth one is a retain card, which means it will never be discarded every single turn until you use it. It gives a huge amount of damage, which is 320% plus another 60% damage amount for each drawn card of this unit for one turn, and there's maximum of 3 times. So the more you draw Yuki's card, maximum of 3 times, you can get huge amount of damage on top of it. So 3 times 60, that means it's 180, right? And then the final one, which is a free cost Flash Slash, 300% damage to all enemies from 180, and then when used, decrease cost by 1. Oh, maybe as you cycle through the hand pool, the free cards will go to 2 and then go to 1 and then go to 0 eventually. I'm hoping this is how it goes. Opinion, the best I would go for is either the second one, which has decreased cost by 2 if you got inspiration tag, or a fourth one with a huge amount of damage, 320% plus a 60 for every time you draw a card. But because you want to go AP efficient, so the second would be the best for me. Or maybe the first one. You got a bit more damage and it's a 1 cost. Next is Trickery Strike, which is a retain card. Once again, it will never discard it at the end of the turn. It will simply is a 150 damage and then it'll activate Inspiration. So let's have a look at the Epiphany. You got the first one is 180% damage. So 150 to 180 damage. And then you can choose 1 card of this unit in hand and activate Inspiration effect. Second one is a retain / retrieve card tags with 180% damage, again with the same stats. And the third one is activate Inspiration for all cards of this unit in hand, which is a skill card. And then the fourth one, we have attack card, which is a 150% damage, draw 1 card that have Inspiration effect. And the final one is also 1 cost, but it has 260% damage and the inspiration decrease cost by 1. So this, once again, it goes to 0 if you're at inspiration tag. Now for me, I would go for the second one because you can pretty much use it twice and activate the inspiration, or the fifth one, which has a 0 cost but 260% damage. But the downside is that you couldn't activate any inspiration tag, and it's quite hard to activate inspiration if you don't have the good Epiphany effect on probably Nia or Cassius or other type of combatant. So that's for my opinion. The last one, which is the Freezing Blade, which is a unique card and it does 60% damage, right, for activated inspiration. So for the Epiphany, the first one is from 60% to 90%, and then the second one, which is a 0 cost, which has a unique initiation. So initiation, this means is place this card on top of draw pile at the start of this battle, and then remaining with the 60%. And then the third one is a 1 cost with, when using a card of this unit with an activated inspiration, 130% damage to a random enemy. So there's going to be more damage once again. And the fourth one is increased damage amount of attack cards of this unit that targets all enemies by 30%. So the third one is pretty much a 130% to a random enemy, while the fourth one is a 30% to all enemies, additional to all the attack cards for Yuki. And the final one is the, at the start of the turn, activate inspiration for 1 random cards of this unit in hand. So if you got this final one, I would say you don't really need to pretty much go hard on the activate inspiration, right? So the fifth one will be used if you turn Trickery Strike. Yeah, Trickery Strike into a 0 cost with more damage, right? So depending how you play, but for me, the best one I would pick is going to be the Initiation 0 cost. I love to have AP efficiency, and obviously on this team, you don't really use Mika, so this is going to be your second team, I assume, and because Haru might be the first option or Hugo. This is pretty much how Yuki's card's going to work. Now we're gonna jump into the ego straight up, because potential wise you don't really need to care about because you just simply by leveling them up. But for the ego, which is if you even get a dupe copy, right? So the first one is that remove the decreased damage amount by 20%, effect on Iceberg Cleave. And Iceberg Cleave means the 180% damage to all enemies. So if you're gonna look into the original card, it says that 180% damage to all enemies. Inspiration at 1 hit, decrease damage amount by 20%. But for E1, you are removing that 20%. That means it's a 180 plus another 180. Next, E2 is that at the start of the battle, activate inspiration for cards of this unit drawn at the start of the turn for 2 turns. Now that is crazy, right? Because in 2 turns at the beginning, you can either keep your inspiration card or use them straight away with like probably reduced cost or even a lot of damage involved. So that would be great. For E3 is that changes Skyscraper Cleave plus 50% damage amount for each card moved to the top of draw pile effect to 80%. So a 30% increase for E3 is going to be quite crazy, right? If you kind of build a lot of attack cards. The next one is Inner Memories, is that gain 1 sword dance each time this unit card is drawn through and ability. Now, Sword Dance is that increased damage amount of attack cards of this unit by 10% for 1 turn, and there's maximum of 2 stacks. And then for the 5th one is simply by increasing the level of your basic card upgrade, unit card upgrade, common card upgrade, and potential by 3. And then the final one, which is E6, increase max stacks of Sword Dance by 1 and changes damage amount effect to increase by 15. Now that it's crazy. So at the E4 is simply by 10% and max out of 2 stacks. Now it's max out 3 stacks and each of them is 15%. So that's crazy for more damage, right? So that's pretty much your Manifest Eagle. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about this, and I hope you guys enjoyed these kind of content. Please leave a like and subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Stay tuned and peace out.